Culturally, we talk about happiness as if it's the weather. We hope to catch a good day and brace ourselves when the forecast looks bleak. This drives a focus on hedonic well-being, the pursuit of pleasure, through immediate fixes like tropical vacations, shiny new purchases, or a hot bubble bath. But this model fails during a real crisis. A bubble bath provides no biological mechanism to regulate the nervous system during a period of intense grief or financial loss. Chasing passive happiness leaves us dependent on external conditions. When the environment shifts and stress returns, we are left feeling psychologically broken. Modern research treats true psychological well-being as a physical capability we build, rather than a mood we fall into. Neuroscientist Richard Davidson defines well-being as a trainable skill, a set of competencies that can be practiced and strengthened over time. Because of neuroplasticity, our brains are constantly being shaped by our actions. Doing the reps of specific mental exercises actually changes the physical structure of our neural circuits. We can stop chasing a temporary feeling and start actively engineering a resilient mental architecture. Psychological science divides well-being into two categories: the surface-level pleasure of the moment and eudaimonic flourishing, a deep structural state of functioning. Researchers like Martin Seligman shifted the field away from merely treating misery, focusing instead on the multidimensional elements that allow a human to actually thrive. This model maps out specific building blocks for a flourishing life, including autonomy, environmental mastery, and positive relationships. These pillars provide stability even when surface emotions fail. When external circumstances are negative, your sense of meaning and social connections bear the psychological load. A healthy mind is a load-bearing structure. It requires consistent maintenance across multiple distinct areas, not just a single dial of happiness. Maintaining this architecture requires the specific behavioral skill of proactive emotional regulation. Most people wait until an emotion has already exploded before they try to suppress it. By then, the biological response is already fully active. This timeline illustrates James Gross's process model. It shows emotions have an early incubation period where intervention is efficient. In this antecedent section, we intervene before the stressor compounds, setting boundaries or reframing a challenge before panic sets in. Applying these strategies diffuses the psychological trigger before the biological cascade of stress hormones even begins. Effective care is a matter of strategic anticipation. It is about altering the environment rather than just reacting to internal panic. Even the best strategies eventually meet their limit. A sudden crisis happens in life, and our carefully planned antecedent defenses completely fail. Kristen Neff's research identifies self-compassion as the biological tool for recovering from these failure states. Harsh self-judgment registers in the body as an internal threat. It spikes cortisol levels and triggers a fight-or-flight shutdown. Self-kindness provides a critical biological counterbalance, actively stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system to effectively restore bodily calm and stability. This acts as a physiological mechanism for restoring nervous system stability under extreme pressure. All of these psychological tools share a mandatory biological limit: the mind-body connection. Physical self-care, sleep, nutrition, and exercise is the biological substrate for emotional regulation. A biologically exhausted brain lacks the metabolic resources to execute cognitive reframing or maintain attentional control. You simply cannot outthink pure physiological depletion. Your physical health is the foundational engine that actually powers all of your psychological resilience. True well-being involves a complete process: setting boundaries before a stressor, regulating attention during it, and applying self-compassion after. An emotional breakdown isn't a failure of happiness. It is raw data and a necessary opportunity to practice these reps. Utilizing these evidence-based tools over time actively builds the necessary capacity to process the inevitable difficulties of life. By treating well-being as a skill, we are actively shaping the resilient neural architecture of human flourishing.